Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I wanted to show you we have Carbot Photo v Carbot Photo on here. And now back to me and Slicer before the game starts. Slicer, what do you think those Carbot Zealots have in mind?
A lot of rage and a lot of just swinging and missing.
I feel so bad for all of the little Carbot logos. I mean, they're so, I don't know. I fell in love with them when I saw an infestor use the neural parasite to, play with the Hellion a little bit. That was my favorite.
Oh, I fell in love watching the, what was that really weird game on PlayStation 2 where you just rolled everything up into a ball in the universe?
Oh, I forget. I played it on Xbox. They released it on the arcade, but I forget the name of it.
Well, just think that with a Protoss Death Ball. Once I saw that, I was like, ha, that's awesome.
Oh, you bet. So we're going to flip into the game now. It has been underway for just a little bit. So I will introduce the players here in the bottom left. For Overdose Gaming, we have Phill. Now that's an easy name to say. I can get behind that.
Nothing special, nothing flashy, just Phill.
And in the top right, our Protoss player, the other one, also rocking the Carbot Photo, we have Ignotic Gaming's Aether. Aether? I'm going to go with Aether. I think that's right.
Without that A, it's Aether.
Yeah, so he's got to have the A in there for a reason, right?
Well, I hope so.
And this is a little bit of an early scout here from Aether. I believe that was on 9.
Yeah, Aether looking for double proxy or forge, which no forge coming up, but standard gateway from Phill. Standard for PvP, usually you throw it up about 12 supply. Aether seems like he delayed it a little bit, but only a little bit. Looks like he got it at 13. And double gas from Phill, ooh.
Yeah, probably maybe didn't want to get one stolen, so potentially took it just a touch early, right on 15. But we'll have to see, as now Aether added on both of his, so both players maybe have something gas-centric in mind. PvP
No.
so devilish, and we'll have to see how many they throw on.
No, Danny, this is just quite standard. 2 probes will go in each gas, and once there's about 14 probes in the mineral line, another will be added for each. It's just to get out the tech a little bit easier. Aether's actually a little behind on probes. He's not chrono boosting. He's saving up for maybe a warp gate blink push.
Well, you will have to keep an eye on that, and after the last game, Slicer, I really shouldn't doubt you, because you called it out from beginning to end. Oh, a little bit of a probe battle here. I always like watching them tickle each other. I mean, what do you think hurt tickles more, a sentry beam or a probe spark?
Well, I think a sentry beam would be more annoying as it's more of a constant, and just a probe spark, I think that might happen randomly, and that would probably be more annoying than anything else.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, who doesn't love a good solid tickle, right?
Oh, according to our chat, everybody loves a good tickle. And, Katamari Damaki, thank you.
Yes.
Sempiternalis? I think I said your name right. Thank you for that. That's the game we were trying to think of.
Sempiternalis? There's like 10 ways to say that name.
You know what? We're just going to go back to the game and focus on Phill and Aether right now.
I think I'm confident in both of those names, so I think we're good there.
Oh, a lot of stalkers coming out from Phill. The warp gate not really being chrono boosted, but the mothership core is out. But the mothership core from Aether has been out for about 3 or 4 seconds longer.
Yeah, it looks like he's just kind of going for some standard 3 stalker pressure, and actually Aether's adding on some as well, so it will all be fine and dandy by the time he gets to his base, unless he pushes out, probably just looking for any proxies or 4-gate type of pylons.
Well, Aether might seem to want to expand, but there's a 3rd gateway coming down from Phill, so this is going to be a heavy stalker with mothership core pressure, and if Aether can't micro properly, Phil's going to take it.
Yeah, right now Aether does have a little bit of a lead. Can he get rid of this pylon? It will be very pivotal, and it looks like he should be able to before too much damage is applied. He may lose just a little bit, but that is a very important pylon.
Killing that pylon is a great thing, and wow, dude, this game heart is awesome. See, the time warp from our orange player here is apparently orange.
Yes, absolutely, just to make sure. And now it's kind of 3v3. Oh, and Aether's going to push him back for now. Both players kind of adding on. And it looks like Phill has given up and will add on a Robo. He's most likely going to trudge home defeated.
Robo versus Stargate.
Ooh, we'll have to
Who's
see
gonna win?
Well, it all kind of depends. We'll see what the first one coming out is. You would guess this late it's not going to be an Oracle or anything silly like that, but potentially could maybe Phoenix, maybe Void Ray Slicer. What are you feeling? You have the hot hand today.
I'm feeling Void Rays. The second base is coming up. There's no second base quite yet for Phill. I'm feeling a Void Ray mostly for defense. And, you know, actually I want to go back to that last battle. Aether had a couple Stalkers in his main that weren't really doing anything, and he just kind of unnecessarily lost the army he was defending with, maybe a little too focused, but was it really worth it to kill the Proxy Pylon? And I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's a Phoenix.
Oh, you know what? I actually was believing you because Void Ray just kind of seemed like a better one, but perhaps Aether maybe thinking that maybe Phill was also going Stargate. You know, they did have very similar openings, so he wants to establish that air superiority. Typically, if you have two Stargates, the person who goes Phoenix first can sometimes win. Maybe he'll see the little blip on his radar.
That observer passed right by that Phoenix, being able to spot it, and Thunderdog logo.
Oh yes.
But Phoenix aren't a terrible choice, especially against Sentry, especially against Stalkers and Immortals. Being able to pick up those Immortals so that they can't do any damage hurts Phil's army really, really badly.
And Aether just scouted not an army, and it looks like he may be coming back and flying right over it. And this could be a little bit dangerous, as there's a decent number of Stalkers and a couple Immortals in the back. He'll have to make sure he gets out enough stuff to defend this.
Oh, Aether doesn't really have a rally point on his Phoenix at all. He's only using them just to scout around. He sees where the army is, but he's got to use that Nexus Cannon. Here's the engage.
Yes, absolutely. And if he can lift up that Immortal with the Phoenix, it'll be so important, but he can't just lift it and die to the other Stalkers that are around. So we'll have to see here.
Ooh, even the Sentry bubbles orange. It's so beautiful. But I kind of think Aether made a little bit of a decision mistake there. He didn't lift anything after he hit the Nexus Cannon. He could have got 2 free kills just like that.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, he has an Oracle heading around the army saying, all right, if you're here, you're not at home. There is, however, 2 Stalkers in the mineral line for Phill. Good little defense there, so he didn't throw absolutely everything at that attack. So this Oracle probably won't get a whole lot done, but we'll have to see.
It might get 1 or 2 kills off of the workers in the gas, but as soon as it sees those Stalkers, it's just going to be like, ugh! Or it's just going to go, and run away anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Not taking any chances, barely losing anything.
Dark Shrine.
Ooh, a little interesting maneuver there. Maybe seeing that Oracle knows that he did not go Robo.
Well, seeing those Phoenix and knowing that they're not hallucinated, they don't die as easily, Phill probably realized it was a Stargate right off the bat. But DTs, Phill knows he's behind, and when behind, Dark Shrine.
Yes, absolutely. And another thing to point out with that Observer, when he first saw that Phoenix, he would know that it is not hallucinated. So he knew it was a real Phoenix right away. So he was very in tune that there was a Stargate coming up.
Yep, for those of you who don't know hallucinated units, when they're being observed, turn blue.
Yes.
Very, very blue.
Quite. And with Game Heart, who knows? Maybe they turn super bright orange, as so many orange things have been going off today. We'll have to see. This is a little rough because this Oracle is now leaving, just used its Envision ability, has enough for another one, but there's a Proxy Pylon on the left and not any detection here. This could be very bad for him depending on where this Oracle is, or worse if it gets picked off.
That's really, really strange by Aether. His only means of detection, he's actually taking it away from his base.
And now he does have an Observer on the way. He just started one. And he will probably Chronobos that very, very quickly as soon as he realizes this. I'm sure he will.
Well, it's too bad because there's already a Dark Templar in the mineral line for Aether.
Yep, and he realizes that now for sure. Now pulling the probes a little bit late, but not too bad. Looks like that Dark Templar is going to get 6 kills now. Good amount of kills. That's going to hurt. Oh, and a 7.
And maybe an 8. Ooh, Aether's being a little wonky here. Not controlling his probes to the best of his ability. The Observer is out, but I have no idea where it is. Or is it canceled?
It looks like it was rallied across the map. He actually pulled the Oracle all the way home and used Envision. And actually he had probes rallied from his second Nexus in his main. So while those were being transferred over, you know, he pulled all the probes, but he was still building them, unfortunately.
Phill deciding to take a third behind this as well.
Yep, Phill, I think, is rapidly catching up. He did take a supply lead. He has a lot more workers now, 60 to 41. Another reason to love Game Hard. All of that information so easily accessible down here. And when you highlight it, you can see workers killed. 1 for Aether, 9 for Phill. Great stuff.
Oh, don't forget about the units lost with the Shift L.
Ooh, that was actually in my old overlay, and I love, that's one of my favorite things. Beautiful little thing there. But I never knew this Game Heart just makes everything look so great.
Oh, yes, but Aether's not going for a third. This is going to put him really far behind. Aether may not be used to this spot in a PvP.
Oh no, and we have a rogue Colossi headed across the map. How long until he realizes it? Because that guy is not stopping for anyone. And if it's rallied to where that observer is, it's going to go all the way into his base.
That Colossus just being like, you know what? I've lived long enough, even though it's only been about 30 seconds.
You know,
I want to go give a hug.
I disagree. I think he's saying, stand back, you guys. I got this. And it's going to sit so close.
Phil's a little on edge. He sees it, but he doesn't see the army around it. I don't think he realizes it's misrallied, but now that he knows...
That is a painful loss.
That is a 300 mineral, 200 gas investment to find out that Phill has charge.
Yes, good investment. Probably not. But I like the players staying friendly here.
Oh, but still no third from Aether. Aether really needed to get that third up, but now he's just way too far behind. Phil's taking a supply lead, but not quite the army lead. No, there it goes. He just takes the army lead. And, 26 probes.
And so many High Templar get warped in. I wonder if he's actually going to keep them as High Templar, because he can feed back all of these Phoenix, which will kill them all instantly, including the Mothership Core and almost the Oracle as well. And then he can morph them all into Archons after that. So we'll have to see. It looks like he did just morph them into Archons. He's not following my cool strategy advice, Slicer.
Well. The feedback is a good idea, but you need 180 energy on the Phoenix, and one lift just pretty much guarantees that they're not going to die, so it's not exactly the best use of feedback, but hey, if it stops your probes from dying like Aether's doing right now to Phill, then hey, do what you need to do.
And I think at the end of the day, Slicer, there is a reason I am Platinum League, and there is a reason that Phill is not.
Oh, but these Archons are going to be able to take a whole lot of damage, especially against Colossus. And, well, Phoenix can't really lift those, so...
Yes,
we'll
they
see.
are too... I don't know if it's because they're too big or too energy-filled. Not
or
quite
they're just
sure.
like... They're just a gas energy that doesn't really lift. I mean, back when they weren't massive, you could probably lift them, but, well, that patch was a long time ago. But a bad engagement by Phill here.
Yeah, he loses Mothership Core and also a couple of units here and there. He still does have to be, you know, a little careful, but he does have +2 weapons against nothing for Aether. That's going to be really devastating.
Oh, the upgrades will tell the tale, and these Phoenix need to lift these Immortals. 1 gets lift, 2 gets lift, 3 gets lift, 4. And, well, hopefully the Colossus can do what they need to do, but everything's just dying to the charge lots.
Those charge lots do, so much damage. Oh, and I love this, just a little Dark Templar 2 mixed in. And a GG is called. Overdose Gaming Phill takes it, so Overdose Gaming will be up 2-1. Not quite able to pull off what his teammate could there, so Aether goes down.
Aether making some bad decisions later on. He did get ahead. He had his natural up way before Phill did, and I think Aether just got a little too defensive. He figured that there would be a counterattack, but it never came, and maybe those DTs were kind of keeping him on edge as well.
Yeah, and so we will continue to cast this best of 5. We'll have to see if Overdose can go ahead and seal the victory in the next game or not, and hopefully Ignotic, I would love to see them get another win. I'm kind of cheering for the underdog here, Slicer, keeping things interesting, love seeing it. Maybe it's just because I identify it a little bit more. But in the meantime, we are going to throw it back to a little bit of music. We'll get everything set up, and we will be back in just a bit for you guys. Stay tuned.